Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It is so good to be here. It's good to see y'all. Thank you all so much for being here. Wow, friends, I just have to say in this last week, y'all have overwhelmed me in a good way with all of your support and the love that you are giving to me on my channel. Wow, just wow. That's really all I can say. I'm floored and a little surprised at how many of you have joined, and I just want to welcome all of you to my channel. I am so excited to have you all here. Okay, so y'all, I know that I told you last week that we were going to be revealing a great big surprise for our family room that we have been working on for several weeks now. However, sometimes, the best laid plans don't always work the way you intended them to. So yes, we have all been very sick in my house. First my son got sick, and then my hubbers, and then me, and so we're just all trying to recover. So this week, instead of revealing our big family room surprise to you all, I thought it would be fun to just go ahead and take you into my bedroom and the master suite in our house so that we can just fallify it a little bit. I've been wanting to do this anyway, and I'd kind of been putting it off because we were so focused on our family room project. But unfortunately, just because of all of us getting sick, we have just a few small details still left that we have to take care of on that. So today we are going to fallify my bedroom. I have been working on a couple of things for this room that we're going to DIY, of course, because I have to have a DIY in everything I do. So we're going to sew some really beautiful toss pillows for the bed. We're going to also whip up a really quick and easy, a chunky blanket. And I'm really excited about this because it literally works up in like an hour, and you don't have to know how to crochet or knit or anything to do this one. So I'm very excited to share this one with y'all. Then we are going to just add a few small fall touches to the bedroom, and I think that's going to be about it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on fallifying the bedroom. Our first project today is going to be a really fun yarn craft. And y'all, you don't need to know how to crochet or knit to do this one. That's why I was so excited to share it with you. So all we're going to do is start by building a foundation chain, which is just basically making loops as I'm showing you here. You're just going to make the loop, then pick up some more yarn and make another loop. And I will show you in slow motion here, hopefully that will help. And we are going to make 75 of these because I wanted my blanket to be pretty large, and the end measurements on this one was 70 by 60. Now that we have our foundation chain built, we are going to start our first row, and you want to make sure that you are putting your loops into those lower bumps that I just showed you. And it's basically all, again, we're just making little loops here. So we're just going to pick up some yarn and loop it through to make its own loop. And the most important part here is to make sure that you keep your loops approximately the same size, the same length as one another. And I will show you again here in slow motion how I am doing this. So I hope that this helps y'all. So we're just going to continue building this first row by making all kinds of little loops. And you want to make sure that you don't miss a loop either, because if you do, that's going to really wreak havoc with your entire project. When you get to the end of your first row, we are going to turn around and start doing the same thing again, only in the opposite direction. So when you get to the end of that row, you'll turn around again and do the same thing, back and forth, back and forth. And if you need to change your yarn, here's a quick little tip on how to tie your yarn together so that you don't end up with a big bump in your yarn. You're just going to take your 2 strands, your working yarn and your new yarn, tie them together in little knots over the top of each other, and then pull it. Bam, you have a nice tight little knot, and then just cut off your tail ends, and I guarantee you this will not come loose. All right, guys, now once you've gotten your blanket about the size that you want it, we're going to do what's called casting off. So your first 2, you're just going to pull up a loop like we've been doing to build the whole blanket, but then you're going to pause there. You're going to tuck that second loop into your very first loop. Then with the third one, grab your working yarn, pull up another loop, and tuck that one into your previous loop, just like this. And we are going to continue doing this all the way to the very end of your blanket. And when you get to the end, just snip off your remaining yarn, leave a little tail end, run it through that loop and tie a knot, and then weave your ends in. And y'all, we have a very chunky, soft, cushy blanket. For our second project, we are going to do a little bit of sewing. So you will need some thread, some fabric, some scissors, and a ruler and a cutting pad to cut your fabric. And I'm cutting mine at 26 by 26 inch squares. Then I iron it, and I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and sew a 1-inch seam for our zipper, because we will put a zipper on the bottom of this. Once we have sewn our zipper seam, we're going to kind of just finger press it down. Then we're going to pin our zipper, and you want to make sure that you put the right side of your zipper facing down. Otherwise, you won't be able to unzip it. It'll be upside down in your finished project. So I'm just going to pin this in place, take it to the sewing machine, and sew the zipper in. And what I did not get, somehow I lost the footage of this, is once you've sewn the zipper in, then you just gently open that seam to reveal your zipper. And I'm sorry I didn't get footage of that, but it's pretty simple. Once we have our zipper sewn in, we can now go ahead and close up the rest of our pillow cover by sewing all 3 of the remaining sides. And I'm just doing a simple straight stitch on this. After I have all of my seams sewn in, I do like to go over them with some pinking shears to just clean up the edges of this really well. It kind of gets rid of some of the excess bulk, plus it also keeps this from fraying. You do want to make sure when you're doing this, though, not to cut into any of your stitching, otherwise your whole project will come undone. Now we will flip this right sides out, give it a little pressing, and voila, y'all, we have a really pretty pillow cover. Our third project is also going to be a yarn craft. I have a like one of those really long, like lumbar type pillows on my bed that I wanted to make a new cover for, since I'm changing all the color scheme in my room for fall. And if you haven't guessed, I'm going with green since it's my favorite color. Anyway, we're just going to crochet a pillow cover, and I'm making a pocket pillow cover here. So I've already crocheted the first 2 sections, and now we're working on the third section, and I'm creating a chain here of 75 stitches. Then once my chain is created, I'm going to crochet my first row using the back bumps of these in just a single crochet all the way across. And if you're unsure how to do a single crochet, you're basically just going to put your insert through the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops.
And this is what our foundation chain looks like with the first row. And to get this pattern, this like textured pattern, we are going to do a single crochet into our first stitch. And then our second stitch is a double crochet. So you're going to yarn over, insert your needle through the stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops for a double crochet. Then we're going to do a single crochet, and then in this next stitch, a double crochet. And this is going to be our pattern all the way across, and you will just repeat this to the very end. Now that we're at the end, you want to make sure that you're ending on the same stitch that you started with. So if you started with a double or the opposite stitch, so if you started with a single, then you should end with a double. Then you're going to turn your work, and we're going to do the opposite. So we ended that last row with a double, so we're going to start this next row with a single crochet. So basically you should always be starting each row with a single crochet and ending with a double crochet, because you want your stitches to be the opposite of what they were from the stitch below. So if your stitch below was a single, then you need the one above it to be a double. I really hope that makes sense for y'all. Now that we've got that completely assembled, I'm going to go ahead and crochet all these pieces together. I'm going to just attach them by using a single crochet. And it kind of creates this pretty little border going all the way around. However, I want to clean this border up a little bit, so I'm going to do a reverse single crochet, which is also known as a crab stitch. And this can be a little bit fiddly. I'm going to just be inserting the hook kind of upside down. So you kind of want to go upside down, kind of like I'm doing here. Insert the hook, pull up a loop, then yarn over and pull through both of those loops. And this is what's called a crab stitch or a single crochet reverse stitch. And I really just like how this kind of, see how it makes just a really pretty like little loop across the top, which really cleans up the frame and it makes it just look really clean and just really framed in. So I love how this turned out, and I love the texture in this this specific crochet pattern. All right, y'all, let's move on to the fun stuff. Let's start decorating. The first project I want to tackle in this room is I've got this very empty blank wall, so I decided it would be fun to put a gallery wall on here. And just one of my quick tips for getting your frames perfectly spaced so that they make perfectly straight rows is to use a piece of wood that is the exact dimensions of the space that you want. And then you butt your frame right up against it, and voila, you have a perfectly lined up gallery wall. And if you don't have access to a saw to cut the wood, you can use cardstock, or a piece of cardboard will work just fine. And there we have it. So I did decide, since I'm redoing this room, that I would like to start with some fresh sheets. So I laundered all of my bedding, and I'm just remaking the bed here. And I do like to cover up my sleeping pillows, so that's why we have the weird little bump, but we hide that perfectly well with all of our pillows. So I'm just going to start adding in our pretty pillows that we sewn. I love these. And again, these are 26 by 26 inch because I have a king size bed, so I really wanted some very large pillows to go on here. And I also did it in 3s just because I like odd numbers. And then I'm going to go ahead and put some more pillows in front, and we'll just put 2 here. And then we will add in our really neat crocheted pillow. And y'all, I'm really, again, just loving the texture on this. And then I did add in another little one that I ended up making at the last minute. Then we will throw on some toss blankets at the end of our bed, and I think we have a pretty made bed. Then over here on this wall, it's I've had these pegs here for a while, and I thought for the fall it would just be kind of neat to hang blankets on them to just make this space kind of cozy and warm. And for this table, I just added in some fall florals and a cute pumpkin. And then on this little table next to my seating area, I'm just going to add in some simple elements, books, pumpkins, and candlesticks. For my bedside table, I'm just going to add a pretty vase with some fall picks and a candle. I'm really enjoying the end results of this room. I just feel like all these elements that we chose make the room feel so cozy and warm and inviting. And it's just a relaxing place that my husband and I can curl up in at night to just kind of end our day. It's just kind of our sanctuary. So I do like our bedroom to be very cozy and welcoming.
Alrighty friends, that is going to wrap up today's video. I really hope that y'all enjoyed. I sure enjoyed sharing this with y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you all again next week. Next week we are definitely going to be revealing our family room surprise for all of you, our big family room project that we've been working on, and we'll do some fallifying down there as well. And then the week after that, we've got some more fun fall DIY crafty type projects coming up. So I hope to see you all again next week. Until then, y'all take care and I'll see you soon. Bye. If y'all enjoyed today's video, go check out these two other fall Decorate With Me videos where we are decorating my grand main living room. Hope to see y'all over there.